If we remember Samoa, there are 51 seats in the parliament, 26 required to make government, and the two major parties, the Human Rights Protection Party that's been in government in Samoa for nearly 40 decades is on 25 seats, and the Fa'atuatua Ele Atua Samoa or TASI party, the FAST party that was only officially registered as a political party last year in July, also on 25 seats. So you can imagine what the people in Samoa are feeling like right now. You know, last week when I was speaking to you, I was saying that, you know, change was wanted in Samoa, and the election results so far are really proving just how much change is wanted. And it is absolutely crazy to think that with these preliminary results that, you know, the government or like the former government and this new party are currently neck and neck. There is an official count starting today. So these aren't the final results. But if it does stay with the two parties on 25 seats, then the deciding vote will actually come down to an independent. His name is Tuala Iosefo Ponifasio. He actually has been trying for 15 years to get into Samoan Parliament, and now he has made it, and he has the potential to be the kingmaker or the queenmaker in Fiame Naomi Mataafa's case to get to choose who the government is going to be in Samoa. So, like I said, it is amazing to see what has happened, and there are a lot of Samoans both in the country and in the diaspora, as well as people around the world who are really interested in what is happening with this election.
So if those votes end up being as you predict, how will the deadlock be broken and who is he likely to side with?
Well, Tuala, the independent, has indicated before that he would join the FAST party, but Fiame, the leader, has said that, you know, she was going to be speaking with him today. And, you know, the incumbent Prime Minister, Tuilepe Salele Mali'i Lengao'i, he, of course, is going to be in talks because, of course, you want to be in government in Samoa. But I think what the bigger thing that I was saying, and this was, you know, what we were talking about last week, is the need for a working opposition. And I was explaining that, you know, you need 8 seats in the Samoan Parliament to gain an official opposition status, and that is definitely there. So I think it's going to be really interesting whoever does form government, because they are going to have an opposition who is going to be keeping them accountable, who is going to make sure that decisions are transparent, and that can only be a good thing. Like, of course, I don't want to get all, you know, kumbaya on this, but the real winner in this election is going to be democracy, and that can only be a good thing for, for Samoa.
Well, the government pushed through very contentious legislation late last year around issues like customary land titles. Could we expect to see those repealed?
Before the election, the HRPP party released their manifesto, and one of their key, platforms moving forward for the next 5 years is development and infrastructure. And when you talk about development, you talk about land, and when you talk about land in Samoa, you talk about customary land. Now, when we look at the FAST party, they campaigned on a manifesto of governance, and the rule of law. And they actually said those 3 controversial bills that, change the judicial system, and, as a part of that judicial system is the Land and Titles Court in Samoa, effectively putting it on par with the Supreme Court. So when it comes to traditional customary decisions, legal decisions, and, just general law and order decisions, they're exactly on the same page. And that is always going to be an issue moving forward. There are people who, like to speculate that, and raise their concerns that, customary, like when you're talking about development and infrastructure in, a Pacific Island nation like Samoa, it's like, where do they get the money? China. So, when debts are paid, how are debts paid with land? There is, of course, a lot of speculation, a lot of concern. We're going to obviously have to see how it plays out. But when it comes to culture and traditional values in Samoa, that actually does go hand in hand with, more Westminster style that we're more used to here in Australia. So, like I said, it is going to be something that people are definitely going to be keeping an eye on. And I think it's also another reason why the FAST party were able to get so many voters behind them, because they were so, they were so forward about how upset they were and how unhappy they were that those 3 bills passed through the Parliament in December with no scrutiny from the Human Rights Protection Party.
So, Talia, when do you think we're going to know the formal results?
So the formal results, we're looking still for another 2 weeks. Samoa has a very interesting legal system. Like that is like the official results will be, declared on the floor of Parliament. I think we'll have an idea of, what those seats are. But when it comes to official, there is due process. And there also might be court challenges too. In past elections, when, the HRPP have won in a landslide, there have still been court challenges from candidates, thinking that they are the ones who should have won their seat. So, there is still time to tell, but there will be a lot of people looking at the results, seeing, who the incumbent MPs who lost their seats, which seats were picked up, and really going through that data and trying to get an idea of, what was it that really made people change their votes and change their minds in Samoa this election.
Great to talk. Thanks so much for your time.
Great. Thanks, Bev.